Next, we got a fight that's an interesting fight. I feel like the line's a little bit off on this one with Nate Maness. He's taking on Mateus Mendonca, and it's a fight for. I do think Mateus should be the favorite, but I think the line's a little bit out of hand. I mean, I get it that Nate Maness he has had some bad performances in the UFC, but he's fought quite a few times now at this point, and he's been fighting some really high level competition. He's gotten some nice upset wins, and he has power, and that's something that could potentially be a factor in this fight. He is coming off two losses in a row in a layoff with the Takiro Lembekov fight and the Umar fight. He didn't get the job done in those, but obviously those guys are some of the higher level fighters in the division, and we're going to see if Maness has learned from that or he's kind of at the end of his career. He is 32 years old, so if he loses this one, I think it could be his last fight in the UFC. So it's definitely a very important fight, and he's facing a hungry young guy that is looking to get their first UFC win. So obviously, that's not the greatest situation to be in, especially when you're facing a Brazilian guy from Shootbox Diego Lima with Charles Oliveira and all those beasts over there. So it's I just feel like it's an interesting fight because Mateos is a guy that athletically he has the advantage. I think he has the advantage technically striking. He throws more volume. He comes forward and kind of is an athletic striker where he likes to use his feet to get out of range, hands down, and will try to use his reflexes, head movement, and then slip and rip with straight punches. And he has some power. He has good kicks and will throw these flying attacks. And then his grappling is on point. That's what he's going to be looking to use in this fight, get takedowns, try to control Maness. And Nate Maness, though, the guy's kind of tricky. You know, it seems like he's low volume. He doesn't really do too much. He has a hole in the wrestling and can get taken down, but he's a dog in there. I mean, you have to put him out. We saw in the Tony Gravely fight, he survived a lot of adversity, came back out to win, and he has power. And Mendonca leaves himself very open to be hit. I mean, he can get clipped with big counters. He likes to stay right in guys' faces, and if Maness can connect with that right punch, we've seen him before put a couple people's lights out in the UFC. So I think there is a danger there for Mateus Mendonca that Nate Maness is a guy that likes to hang around and then he could eventually land that kill shot, especially with Mateus. He does slow down sometimes, but with the layoff, with two losses in a row, banking on a knockout with a low volume guy at 125 pounds, all of that to me is just not worth it. So I definitely feel like the younger guy in Mendonca that can mix it up, that has the ability to control where the fight takes place and is going to be the more active guy is the pick. So I'm going to pick Mendonca to get the win here. But I just think it's a fight, probably a stay away fight because Nate Maness could play spoiler and get that knockout win.